everyone, welcome back. So I grew up thinking that life was supposed to be like a 50s sitcom. You know, like the Dick Van Dyke Show, the Cunninghams, Bewitched Without Mrs. Kravitz, Leave It to Beaver, and even the Nelsons. And then there were all those great Doris Day movies. Remember them? Well, they were all before my time, but I could catch them on reruns. So in my mind, that's how life was supposed to be. Husband, wife, 2 kids, a house, white picket fence, a dog, cooking the perfect meal that never caused you to gain weight, a spotless home, lots of free time to spend with your perfect children, and to socialize with all the other perfect wives. Well, all of this completely and totally contradicted my independent Barbie Dream Life. You know, with the dream car and the dream house, the dream horse, the dream wardrobe with the perfect shoes and purses and all the mix and match clothes. Then there was the dream job with the dream salary and all the dream friends like Skipper and Midge. And let's not forget the dream boat, Ken. He was handsome and muscular and well-dressed, and he had his own dream car and dream house. So I didn't end up going with the Barbie Dream Life, even though at age 14, when I started working, that was the direction I was heading and that was my goal. Instead, I decided on the 50s sitcom because I wanted to be married and I wanted to be a mom and a wife. I loved babies and wanted to have my own. So I was married very young and had 2 of the sweetest little baby girls. But unfortunately, as sometimes happens in life, we ended up getting a divorce. Well, down the road, I tried dating. I never chose very well though, and ended up usually brokenhearted. I found it was very confusing to my sweet little girls too. So I told God I wasn't going to date anymore. I asked him to bring us the perfect husband and father. Well, not perfect, but perfect for us. So I believed what the Bible said. Ask and you shall receive. So he was either big enough or he wasn't. And he's God, so of course he's big enough. I said I wasn't going to look anymore for anyone. God was big enough and he knew where I was going to be every moment of every day. So he was perfectly capable of putting someone in my path if he chose to have me meet them. And truthfully, I kept waiting for somebody to knock on my door and say, "Hi, God sent me." Anyway, I kept saying I wasn't going to make any more mistakes. I wasn't willing to try and make any more mistakes. It would just have to be God. I wanted it to be so clear that there's no way that I could miss him. I said it would have to be like me running into a brick wall, that clear. So time passed and people kept trying to get me to go out. They would tell me, "You're not going to meet anybody sitting in your living room." I said, "No, that's okay. God's big enough. He knows right where I am." So down the road, some of the singles at the church were having a taco party at one of the girls' house. Well, she didn't particularly like me for some reason. See, that stuff happens even in the church. So my friend called me to see if I was gonna go, and I said no. I had my girls and I didn't have a babysitter. I didn't have extra money for a babysitter, so I wasn't gonna go. And she said that she had already called the person having the party and asked if I could bring the girls, and she was told it was okay. So I was really hesitant. I wasn't gonna go, and she said if I don't go, she's gonna come and get me and drag me there. So after being pushed and prodded, I relented and I went. When we arrived, there were a handful of people there that I didn't know. They were from a different church, but everyone seemed like they were having a lot of fun. They were having a good time. The house where the party was, they had a swimming pool, and it was located on a canal. So here I have my two little girls, so I am eagle eye watching them. I'm standing just outside the sliding glass door, attempting to block the path to the pool and to the screen door that leads out to the back. And I was talking to my friend and I heard someone say, "Hi!" So as I turned to see who it was, a man flashed a deck of cards in front of me and said, "Pick a card, any card." So I looked up at him and I was so surprised because I felt like I got hit in the head. I turned around to see who had hit me and no one was there. My friend had already wandered back inside, so it was just he and I standing there, which gave me cause for pause. Anyway, we talked for a little while and then I gathered my girls, we said our goodbyes, and we left. Well, I was excited, but I also was terrified. It's kind of a big thing, so I was a little nervous. Anyway, I spent the next 2 weeks avoiding this man. I worked at the church and people would come in and out all the time to sit in there and pray. So he started coming in to pray, but he would never go in and pray. He would just come in and sit in the office. He was there all the time. Then he started coming to our church services, but he belonged to another church. So I began hiding in the ladies' room when I saw him coming. Then I realized I had waited so long and here he was. Why was I so afraid? So the next time I saw him, I faced my fears and I talked to him. We spent hours talking and talking and talking. He asked me to have lunch with him sometime, so we made plans, and that's where the story began. God was faithful. So our scripture for today is Philippians chapter 2, verses 1 and 2. Therefore, if you have any encouragement from being united with Christ, if any comfort from his love, if any common sharing in the Spirit, if any tenderness and compassion, then make my joy complete by being like-minded, having the same love, being one in spirit and of one mind. So I hope you have a very blessed day today, and if this was an encouragement to you, please be sure and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember, today's a new day. I'll see you next time.